Hello, YouTube. The Atlantic hurricane season is almost over, but it is drawing to a close. The Atlantic hurricane season's drawing to a close, one that was unlike any other in the past decade in the United States, yet produced one of the most powerful hurricanes ever to strike the Caribbean. The 2025 Atlantic hurricane season is likely to conclude as the first in a decade without a single hurricane landfall in the United States. Hurricane season officially ends on November 30th. Tropical storm Chantal was the only named storm to make landfall in the U.S., moving ashore near Litchfield Beach, South Carolina, on July 6th with maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour. 6 deaths were blamed on Chantal, which caused major flooding in parts of the Carolinas. But beach communities along the East Coast still face the wrath of powerful hurricanes that tracked close to land. Massive waves were generated by storms like such as Hurricane Massive waves generated by storms such as Hurricane Erin caused extensive beach erosion from Florida to the mid-Atlantic. In the Outer Banks, the waves continued to the collapse of multiple houses into the turbulent sea. If no additional storms develop before the end of the year, 2025 will end with 13 tropical storms and 5 hurricanes, close to the historical average for the Atlantic basin of 14 storms and 7 hurricanes. Of the 5 hurricanes, 3 intensified into Category 5 storms: Erin, Humberto, and Melissa, one shy of the record force set during the blockbuster 2005 hurricane season. Hurricane Imelda was on a path to make landfall along the Atlantic coast of the southeastern U.S., but was pulled away from the coast by a rare meteorological phenomenon known as the Fujiwara effect. Hurricane Humberto spun just a few hundred miles to the east of Imelda and was the stronger of the two. The influence of the stronger hurricane tugged on Imelda, eventually steering it away from land and likely averting a flooding disaster in the southeastern U.S. There are only a handful of other documented cases of the Fujiwara effect in the Atlantic basin in recent years, including the interaction between Hurricane Matthew and Nicole in 2016. Hurricane Melissa, the final hurricane of the season in late October, was the deadliest and most destructive of the year. Melissa became one of the few hurricanes on record to make landfall as a Category 5 storm when it barreled into Jamaica, unleashing catastrophic winds, storm surge, and flooding. It was at peak strength with 185-mile-per-hour winds when it made landfall on October 28th. Hurricane Melissa was the third most intense hurricane ever observed in the Caribbean, with a minimum central pressure of 26.34 inches of mercury. That's 892 millibars. Only Hurricane Wilma, that's 26.05 inches of mercury and 882 millibars, and Hurricane Gilbert, which is 26.22 inches of mercury and 888 millibars, had lower pressures. It was also the strongest storm in recorded history to strike Jamaica. Hurricane Melissa caused $48 billion to $52 billion in total damage and economic loss. That's totally true. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you liked what you saw, click like or subscribe below.